Hello, Lost My Ice Cream here again, and we are going to talk a little bit about getting started as it comes to collecting Eldar. Now, there was a comment on one of my videos, and I thought, hey, why not? I might as well make a video out of it. So, now to get started with Eldar, I'm just going to assume that you're new to Warhammer 40k, new to Eldar, and new to everything. So, as it comes to playing Eldar, what you gotta keep in mind is 6th edition is that shooting is now a whole lot more powerful than it used to be. And to keep the army legal, you have to have 2 troops. This is a troop choice, this is a troop choice. And you have to have 1 HQ, which does not come in the battle force, which is a star set. This is a battle force. And depending on where you are, these cost like about 800 SKR, which is about 80 pounds or something like that. I don't know what you have for value, so I'm sorry for that. And now take a look at the contents in themselves. Let me just focus in the camera. You've got Guardians, which are that's your main fodder, really. You've got a Warwalker, which is a multitasker, really. He can kill pretty much everything. And you got Dire Avengers, which are a more elite kind of Guardians. You've also got yourself a Transport, and those always come in handy. By the way, if you're watching this, just keep in mind, this won't be too much tactics. Mainly, welcome to Eldar, and I'll talk a whole fucking lot in this video. So, to take a look at the army. So what you get is this vehicle, these Guardians, and your Dire Avengers. And now what I recommend you to do is to get this kit, Farseer and Warlocks. This is the Finecast version. You could also get yourself a normal Farseer, but those are made in metal, and if you're new to Eldar, I'll just say this. Metal is one pain in the ass to paint. Not to mention that they break easily and are all around bad. So, as it comes to painting, the reason why this is such a small scale, this can't be too much more than, say, 700 points if you squish really a whole lot of things into it. But reason being, let's see, how many models do we have? 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 models. That's not too much to paint, and what you need to keep in mind when you're beginning Warhammer 40k, don't get too much stuff to paint. You will get bored and you will just lose appetite for it. So, like I said, get the Farseer and Warlocks kit, but you probably should avoid these Warlocks for later, because in these smaller games you really only need a Farseer. And let me just turn on the flash. So, there we go. Close up look. He looks like crap because I can't paint Finecast. These guys are very essential to the Eldar army. Not only are they the main HQ, but they're also Psykers, which pretty much means magic, which empower the Eldar a whole lot because they are really, really weak. But when used correctly, they are extremely powerful. You can go watch my battle reports, get some ideas, get some tactics, and get the general idea. I play Ulthway, in other words, a whole lot of fodder. These Guardians. And now what you could do is take one of these Warlocks and place him in the Guardian squad. He could actually increase the capabilities of killing in this squad, because he can use a power that makes them more brave, power that makes them more survivable, powers that make them hurt their enemy a little bit more, or I am thinking about something else, yes I am, sorry. And the Farseer can actually empower the entire army. So what you should do is stick him in with these guys. Put these guys in that thing. This is a transport. It can transport guys, in case you can't tell by the name. It can also punt models over. However, what you, like I kind of didn't say at all, what you could do is also this guy, keep him in the back, because he's really, really vulnerable. Now I'm talking about tactics, and I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm sorry. Like I said, good beginner's army, not very efficient, but it works. Like I said, if you're new, don't get too much stuff you need to paint, and if you don't have a whole lot of money, this is actually a good way to start off. Just get a general feel of the army, and yeah, don't use too many models. So I will go over the more higher choices for those who are somewhat familiar with Warhammer 40k or have played it before. So I will now take a closer look at the slightly larger armies, about 1000 points. This is around 500 or 700. I am horrible at calculating, sorry. But this, like I said, good start for a completely new player. Now I will go on to the more advanced stuff. So now to talk about the little bit larger army. This is about 1000 to 1250 points. It depends on how you upgrade it. This for the more advanced people, say if you have played 40k before and just want to get into Eldar. This is actually not that super difficult because it's just 2 battle forces and one of the Farseer and Warlock kit. Reason why you should get that is because, well, you got Farseer, which is the backbone of the entire Eldar army. I don't care, this is not the troops, it is the Farseer. But you also get 3 Warlocks, and you could have them in a small squad of their own. And by the way, there's a guy called Eldar Corsair who is a whole lot better than me as it comes to Eldar. You can go check out his channel. And let's see here, you've also got you got 10 of the Dire Avengers. It comes 5 in every box. You could have them in a larger squad or 2 smaller squads. I prefer 1 larger. But what is so great about these Warlocks? Well, you can, like I said, make them more powerful, give them embolden or something, and stick them to these Guardians. And you got one guy who is alone, and sad because he's alone. And now you got someone to lead the army. What you should do with him is you could always put him in this thing, put him in the transport. Wait, you have 2 transports. Now you can have another of the Guardian squads in the transports. And you've also got 2 of the Warwalkers, which you could put in a squad. I don't really see the reason why. Perhaps you want to save kill points, but it doesn't really matter to me. Put them in a squad, put them by themselves. It's up to you. It is heavy support, so like I said, this is a bit more advanced, but it's not actually that incredibly expensive. This is about 750 SKR, which is about 175 English pounds. I don't know what the American value is for it. And these things can get the Divers up pretty close and quick, and these guys can unleash a hell of a lot of shots. I think it's around 35 shots per round. With this guy, you can give them the ability to re-roll their hits. And you can, with this guy, you can also doom the enemy, so they have to re-roll to wound. So you can re-roll to wound. You can usually wipe out Terminus with that. And then, when you can't shoot because of a Blade Storm, because that's the insane amount of shots come from a Blade Storm, you can also always hop back in transport and run away. So this is kind of the, like I said, more advanced, a great way to get started if you're familiar. That's the way I began. Go and check out my older battle reports to see how this army works. I have tried it several times and it works just fine. Now to take a look at the more advanced than advanced. Really don't get started with this army I'm about to show you. Okay, now it's time to take a look at the larger army. This is about 1500 to 1650 points, depending on how you upgrade it. This is my personal favorite composition. So this is only recommended for the more advanced players. I play all 3 Eldar as I mentioned in the beginning, which means Guardians everywhere. I have 30 Guardians in this list. 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here. And take note, they don't really have any Warlocks, because they're all here. And the reason being is because they're actually supposed to have rocket launchers, all of them. What I usually do is put them in the back with Eldrad, and I usually proxy this force here in as Eldrad, because the real Eldrad mold usually breaks a whole lot. So put him in the back, 3 psychic powers a turn, just fortune, guide, fortune, guide, keep going like that. Making the Guardians in the back very reliable, and they usually hit a whole lot with their missile launchers. They only have 12-inch range on their guns, so don't get too close to the enemy. The most of them can rapid fire once you can start shooting. And you still get your dual transports. Now, using those, I recommend you to have these guys in one of them. those guys, the Seer Council, and these guys are absolutely devastating if used correctly. In that one, I usually give them 4 Destructors, 1 Embolden, 1 Enhance, and the Farseer, normal Farseer, with Doom and Fortune. Doom wherever you're going to attack, Fortune up your own squad constantly. Put them in a Wave Serpent, and put those Wave Serpents together. Because those guys will have to go like close, 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 close. And these guys will soften up wherever they're going to attack, and then they will charge in. Or burn what's rest of them. And we've also got ourselves a Fire Prism. And I really like the Fire Prism model because, by the way, these are all the boxes used. Fire Prism, Battle Force, 2 Farseer Warlock kits, another Battle Force. But what really is interesting about this thing is because you could have a Night Spinner, a Artillery Wagon, or a Tank Hunter. It's quite easy to swap, because if you're a bit lazy actually, you can swap them incredibly easy. Look at this. You could magnetize it, but I'm not even gonna try. You could actually put these in. I don't think I can do this one hand, but I'll try. Focus in. Now these weapon sockets are empty, so you could... Let's see here, it might work with one hand, I'm not sure. And it does. So you could quite easily, by being lazy simply, just add the cannons and bam, you got yourself a Night Spinner instead. Great for horde armies and great for fun. And reason why you can just swap them out, don't put the rod inside it, so that it should be swapping like, not swapping, like turning, synchronized. But if you actually don't care about putting rod in, you can just pull and plug out the weapons. Same thing about a lot of these, which I should have mentioned in the beginning. All of this stuff is actually stuck together by a very, very simple mechanism. You see a blue rim on the weapon? There we go. You could also put it back, but that's impossible to do with one hand. So, you get the point. Really easy to fix. And you also get a pool of weapons by getting the battle forces. So, that's called Heftmassa in Swedish. I still do not know what it is. It's incredibly annoying. I made a video like half a year ago, and I haven't still found out what it is. That's the reason, by the way, these guys have dual missile launchers. Otherwise, you only get one of every weapon in each box. So if you get 2 boxes, suddenly you have 1 missile launcher and 1 missile launcher. And these 2 actually fit, so if I were to put this weapon on top of this guy, it would actually have worked, but I need to, of course, plug out the weapons first. But it would actually have fit here. You could get magnets, it's probably easier that way. It's a lot cheaper this way at least. And you could go like this, but you want to have the same weapons because it's easier. And then again, you could put these weapons on top of these things, the heavy weapons, which is great, absolutely great. You could also buy sprues from Games Workshop if you feel like it. More money, I wouldn't do it. But like I said, this army is more like, just to give you a general feel of how I play Eldar. This is an army I use quite often. Like, go out, check out my battle boards. I'll try to find a little bit for everyone here. I don't think I have played too many games with the smallest of the armies. But otherwise, that's just a general feel of how you should get started with Eldar. So thank you for watching, and if you want to look at some more Eldar stuff, subscribe, by all means. We do Eldar stuff, Tau stuff, and welcome to Warhammer 40k. There is no escape.